Happy New Year! Hello, you beautiful tubers. How are you? Happy New Year. Hope you're having a great January. Um, I'm back. Wanted to jump in here, do a quick video. I have a Patreon chat in a little bit that I wish you, yes, you, were part of. So jump on over to my Patreon and throw me a pittance, a pittance, a bit of filthy lucre, and you too can have the thrill and excitement of talking to me. I know I got to work on the pitch because that part, it just kind of like, it falls like a souffle in an oven. But anyways, couple of things. Great to see you all again. You've lost some weight. Yes, you. I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday season. Hope you had a great new year. I hope it's starting off much better than last year. Hope everyone is healthy and happy and staying that way. Mountain Dew Major Melon is perhaps one of the most repulsive things I have ever drank in my entire life, and I love it. I finished the Men in Black adaptation on huge amounts of Mountain Dew and very little sleep, and I think maybe some gum. And Mountain Dew is one of those horrible things. It's really not good for you, but boy, at certain times in your life, it can push you right through to the other side where you need to be, where you want to be. So yeah, what I really wanted to talk about quickly was the situation with Alan Dean Foster and the mouse. I know I'm a little late to the game in this. Everybody and his cousin has covered it on YouTube, but since we talk about writing here, and I have had some similar circumstances in my writing career, I thought it was something we should at least touch on briefly. Here's the deal. Here we go. This is from the Wall Street Journal. Star Wars novelist seeks years of missing royalty payments from Disney. There's Alan Dean Foster, kind of looking like looking like Harry Dresden, the Trailer Park Years, but there he is. I love Alan Dean Foster. As a kid, I read a lot of Alan Dean Foster, and there's a lot of stuff of his I never really got to read that much of. I read a couple of the books in the Commonwealth series, like Pip and Flinks, the little dragon thing that was with it. This kid had a telepathic little mini flying dragon. They were good science fiction books. They were really cool. I had a really good friend who just ate them up. He loved them. But I read a couple of those, and of course I read Splinter of the Mind's Eye, which blew my fucking mind, blew my little fucking Star Wars fanboy mind. Fun fact, I'm sure most of you guys probably already know this, but Splinter of the Mind's Eye was actually kind of written as the fallback sequel for Star Wars if it didn't do that well. If it didn't make a lot of money, but it made enough to garner a sequel. They wanted to do something kind of on the cheap, and basically the crystal in there, the force enhancing crystal, was something that was originally, if I remember right, Lucas wrote that in as sort of like that was going to be the Force. The crystal was like the Force, and the planet reminds me a hell of a lot of Dagobah. So it is kind of interesting, and it was a great book, especially when I was a kid. I just loved that book. He's done a ton of adaptations for Star Trek. He's done it for Aliens, for Transformers. The man has made a good, solid career off of writing really good, solid science fiction and fantasy. When Disney gobbled up the Star Wars franchise, they took a lot of his work with them. This is an article from the Wall Street Journal. I will share a link to it because it's pretty comprehensive, and I really don't want to kind of belabor this. Like I said, a lot of folks have done videos and stuff on it on YouTube. I'm putting a link into a video from Midnight's Edge, which is one of the channels I enjoy quite a bit. They do sort of behind the curtain sort of videos on Hollywood, especially like fan stuff, science fiction, fantasy, movies, TV, things like that. They have an interview they did with Alan Dean Foster, and I've linked to one of their videos, YouTube videos for that. So you might want to take a look at that. The long and the short of it is Disney is basically saying that some of this stuff fell through the cracks and they just kind of forgot to pay him for quite a bit of stuff. By the way, I think he did the adaptation for The Force Awakens, if I'm not mistaken. I think he wrote that. So, you know, he's been involved with the Star Wars franchise for a long time. He has been producing content and IP for them. And he wants his money. He is a member of the Science Fiction Writers of America, Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers of America, which I have to be honest, full disclosure, I am not a member of SFWA yet, but I really want to be. Right down here, let's see if I can find it. Very dear friend of mine, Mike Allen, was featured as one of their members on here, which I thought was kind of cool. Basically, SFWA got behind Alan Dean Foster, which is another great reason to be with them. Is, you know, they do stand up for their membership, and they they basically are saying, hey, Disney, you have a contract with our guy. And here's the dear Mickey, we have a lot in common, you and I. We share a birthday, November 18th. My dad's nickname was Mickey. There's more. When you purchased Lucasfilm, you acquired the rights to some books I wrote. Star Wars, the novelization of the very first film, Splinter of the Mind's Eye, the first sequel novel. You owe me royalties on these books. You stop paying them. When you purchased 20th Century Fox, you eventually acquired the rights to other books I had written, novelization of Alien, Aliens, and Alien 3. You never paid royalties on any of these or even issued royalty statements for them. All these books are still very much in print. They still earn money for you. When one company buys another, they acquire its liabilities as well as its assets. You're certainly reaping the benefits of the assets. I very much like my minuscule, though it's not small to me, share. Brother, preach. You want me to sign an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, even before talking? I've signed a lot of NDAs in my 50-year career. Never once did anyone ever ask me to sign one prior to negotiations. For the obvious reason that once you sign it, you can no longer talk about the matter at hand. Every one of my representatives in this matter, with many, many decades of experience in such businesses, echo my bewilderment. You continue to ignore requests from my agents. You continue to ignore queries from SFWA, the Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers of America. You continue to ignore my legal representatives. Whoo! I know this is what gargantuan corporations often do. Ignore requests and inquiries, hoping for the petitions that the petitioner will simply go away or possibly die. But I'm still here, and I am still entitled to what you owe me, including not to be ignored just because I'm only one lone writer. How many other writers and artists out there are you similarly ignoring? Amen, brother. There's more. I'll put a link to this as well so you can read the rest of it. So that's what's going on right there. I fully support Alan Dean Foster in this. And I'm like a Q-lister compared to Alan Dean Foster, compared to most people. I'm pretty low on the totem pole. But I have made a living at writing full-time since 2001. And I can tell you this. Something in my experience is the larger the organization, the shittier they are about paying you. And they will try to duck and dodge and dip and weave every possible way they can to get out of paying you what they agreed to pay you. And early in my career, when I was younger and stupider, I would go on a handshake. I would go on an agreement through an email. Silly me, I assumed that a large organization with deep pockets would be more than happy to pay what they agreed to pay. And since it's been a while, and since they pissed me off, I can tell you that the National Association of Realtors wanted me to write a press release for them, and I wrote it, and they loved it. And then they shorted me on the money because they could, because they thought, as many stupid people who hire writers think, well, shit, I could just do this myself. But they can't do it themselves. But they think that they can. So when you hand them the bill, or that when you ask for the money that was agreed upon prior to the job being done, they balk. That's what the National Association of Realtors did. Hi, guys. I'm back. I didn't forget. And then there was a city of Salem, Virginia, that shorted me out of thousands of dollars at Christmas time, when both of the kids were small and young, because they could, because they were a city, a huge fucking city government, and I was one lone writer. And we had agreed upon what my rate was going to be. I was writing a newsletter for them. I had to go out at my own expense and purchase some books to learn how to manipulate a certain type of software for them. I had to learn the software, and then I produced the product for them after being pursued, vigorously pursued, to do this work for them, and telling them exactly what my rate was. And they balked at it for a long time and tried to talk me down. And I had so much work at the time, I was not going to take less money to take on more work. And I highly recommend the same of you. If you get in that situation as a writer, don't sell yourself short. Don't. You're worth every damn penny of what you charge. Because if these geniuses could do it themselves, they would. But they can't. And that's the bottom line. So, and then I was doing web content in Richmond for the Henrico County Bar Association, and they screwed us out of money. I know it's hard to believe lawyers not being, ethically sound, but it happens. I know no one was more shocked than me and my partner. So it happens. This happens. It happens to Alan Dean Foster. It happens to little Q Lister R.S. Belcher. It will happen to you if you make a living at writing. Get a freaking contract. Get it, negotiate it, get it signed, sealed, and delivered. Get it checked out by an attorney. This is actually one of the reasons I'm really, really happy I do have an agent. She is amazing. And what comes with having an agent is usually, if it's a decent agency, they're going to have attorneys that handle IP stuff for you. They'll handle all kinds of things like that for you, transactions like that for you. I have something like that kind of going on right now that I cannot talk about, but I will as soon as I can. I'll talk about it. And that gives you a huge amount of security and safety to have these people looking out for your interests, because there are a lot of clients out there. They want the product. They want the fruit of your labors. They just don't want to pay you what you're worth. And they will try to convince you that you're not worth that much and that they've already paid you plenty. And I've had that happen. And again, like I said, this was back in the days when I really couldn't afford an attorney. I don't think I could really afford an attorney now. I could probably scrape it together if I absolutely had to, but probably not. And they are counting on that. They're counting on, we made an agreement with you and we're breaking the agreement. And what are you going to do about it, little guy? Huh? What are you going to do? So go into everything with your eyes wide open. Don't think because it's a government or a big company or a well-respected, has the kind of the seal of approval on the company, that they're not a bunch of lying, dishonest bastards, because they might be. That being said, if they have a problem with your work, then you go through litigation. You don't just turn off the money that you agreed to pay. That's not how that works. So that is the moral of the story. I hope that things have gotten kind of quiet. Those stories are from back in like November. But I remember watching it kind of blew up on YouTube a few weeks ago. Alan Dean Foster is not being quiet about this, and good for him. And good for him for not signing an NDA, because you can't negotiate and you can't get your story out there if you have a gag order on you. So my advice to you, if you are wanting to do this for a living, is always be polite, courteous, and friendly to anyone who wants to engage your services. But caveat emptor, let the buyer beware. Caveat emptor, I think it is. Whatever. Either that or it's a salad dressing. I can't remember. Just be careful. No, I don't think that's right. Maybe it is. Let the buyer beware. In your case, let the writer beware, because you could very well find yourself in a situation where you're on Christmas Eve and you don't have money to buy your kids presents because the person who was going to be paying you decided they weren't going to pay you. Don't get in that position. Don't let that happen to you. Don't let that happen to your family. So I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to put links to all of this stuff in the description of the video below. It's great to see you guys. I know I say this every damn video, but I'm going to try to see if I can slip in a few more videos. My goal would really be to do a couple a week, every week. I still have some plans for some other YouTube stuff I want to try to get out there, including one where I'm reading some of my work that has not been published. I'd really like to do that. It's just realistically, right now, I want to see what I can get going consistently with this channel before I start jumping onto other stuff too. I just get really excited, and I want to share all this stuff with you. But anyways, so read up on Alan Dean Foster, because if it could happen to Alan Dean Foster, he is a huge name in science fiction and fantasy. He's like a household name in science fiction and fantasy. He is, if you go out and buy, I think I have, where is it? I can't even see it now, but I have my copy of the original Star Wars novel. It was a screenplay by George Lucas, and then Alan Dean Foster turned it into something that was interesting to read. And he's just, I mean, he's contributed a huge amount to the genre, and he is a craftsman. If he built chairs, you'd expect him to get paid for the chairs he built. If he built cars, you'd expect him to be paid for the cars he built. It's no different. He builds worlds, he builds thoughts and imagination, and puts it into a format that he can send it out to you and share that world with you. And he's done a hell of a job of it. He's very successful. He has been sought out by major corporations for decades to do the adaptations for their movies, their television shows, their IP. He deserves to get paid for that. And there's no real reason. It's not like Disney's hurting for the money. I mean, even if they are hurting for money, they sign contracts and they have obligations with those contracts. They bought the IP. They have the responsibilities that come with the IP. And that includes paying the authors who wrote these books. Because it's not just Alan Dean Foster. They've screwed other authors over as well. He's just kind of the poster boy for it right now. So I'll share the links in the video. They'll be in the description below, so you can check this stuff out. I highly recommend you do. Check out the Midnight's Edge video on it. That's a really good channel. I have a lot of fun watching their videos, and they're very cool. Okay, have a fantastic rest of your week. Hopefully I'll be back on here again with another video before the week is over. I have to run. I got to go do a Patreon thing right now, or in like 9 minutes. It's great to be back talking with all of y'all. Please share the videos if you enjoy them and you think they have something of merit to share. Please like the channel, subscribe to the channel, click on the little bell for notifications so you know when I got a new video coming out. Please encourage other folks to watch and to subscribe. I am really close to 200, and when we get to 200, we're going to do something fun. I don't know what. Maybe we'll do a live chat or something. And we'll do something if I can hit 200. Also, and I'll touch on this more in another video later this week, I am doing a Patreon kind of chat mixer on our Discord page. And would love for you guys to come and hang out. I'll be there. We can talk. I'll answer any questions I can for y'all. And you get to meet other people who, it's kind of like an AA meeting. People who like R.S. Belcher books. Hi, I'm Ted, and I read the Six Gun Tarot. Hi, Ted. That kind of thing. So would love to get you all there. I will going to do a little mini for me video on it later this week and get you all the links and connections. Love to chat with you and see you there. I think it's on the 26th is when we're shooting for. But like I said, I'm going to do a video just about this, and I will hopefully see you guys on the next video. Have a fantastic evening, and I will talk to you soon.